This episode is sponsored by Anchor. If you're looking for a platform to start a podcast, you can start with Anchor for free. It is convenient to record your podcast on a mobile app or on your computer. You can edit and save your audio files. There are no limits to a number of storage, trial periods, and number of episodes on Anchor. It is automatically distributed to Spotify and other listening platforms. You can get paid with no listenership, plays, and downloads. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Brewer Podcast. I am your solo speaker of the podcast, it's Alex. You guys can call me Brewery. I definitely want to talk about the free Britney Spears situation. It's also about how her fans want Britney Spears to be free from the conservatorship. This is something that has been serious for years. This needs to be discussed a lot. I feel that talking about this would help Britney a lot. Britney Spears' fanbase is very huge. The public eye has been calling the conservatorship to end for years. She needs help, not control of her own life. That's not helping people. I am a Britney Spears fan. I love Britney Spears. I live for her music. She will always be a pop icon. Everyone knows that. In case you don't know who Britney Spears is, I'm very surprised to hear about it because it sounds that you're not updating yourselves about Britney Spears. It sounds to me that you're not updating yourself about her personal life. I did. Other than that, everyone knows who Britney Spears is. I wanted to talk about this at the same time. I wanted to wait because I was waiting for some updates about the conservatorship. I have listened to Britney Spears since I was a child. I was in kindergarten and elementary school when I first heard about her because of her music albums. That was my childhood. I would listen to her in the vehicle. I would listen to her when the radio's on. That is very nostalgic to me. That creates childhood memories. I know a lot of her singles, but I'm not going to sing it out loud. I don't have the best voice when it comes to singing. It probably has a bad pitch or it doesn't have a high pitch. Britney Spears was famous since she was a child. She has been featured in lots of commercials. Let's make a list here. She had me in tears where I wanted her to speak for herself. I understand that she could not express herself. She couldn't express what was happening to her. It broke my heart to hear about Britney Spears being controlled. It hurt me because I know what it's like to be taken advantage of. I always believed that her father was taking advantage of her. I always believe that people can trust their own family and expect them not to do anything that is shady and sketchy. I don't see Britney Spears as a problematic person. I don't see her as controversial. I noticed that she has been off, especially when she posted on Instagram. I feel that she would be on social media at a convenient time, not when she wants to. I don't think that she's fine because she's going through a lot. I think what makes her life controversial and so sketchy is the people involved. She has been overworking a lot. One of her family members is one of them. The people that disrespected her are one of them. I feel that the legal system treated her badly when it comes to the conservatorship. I don't like saying the word conservatorship because it's hard for me to pronounce the word at a normal pace. It seems that she did not know what she signed up for. I already know what she continued to fight against the conservatorship. I already know why. Plus, I can't say the word conservatorship fast. I can't take away from what she accomplished. I can't take away where she started from the bottom. I wish that she was not part of a conservatorship. I'm glad that this is trending. This should not stop trending. Before I go over what is going on with Britney, I want to go over what is a conservatorship. This is very complicated. I don't know if she made a choice to be private. I don't know if there are other people involved to control her life other than her father. If that's the case, then it's scary. I always feel that it's fair to believe her side of the story. I feel that she has been attacked because people have not heard her side of the story. She's just a regular person. We don't know how Britney feels. We don't know if she's anxious or happy. We don't know what she's feeling. She grew up very fast. She was extremely sexualized as soon as her fame became huge. The problem that I had is that she was in the industry where predominantly males worked in the entertainment industry. There's no doubt that her fame is still huge. There's there are a lot of things to talk about with Britney Spears. You bet. It's going to be a long episode for sure. I have a lot to say when it comes to the damage that has been on Britney Spears' life. It's very sickening to me. I realized that her family is the one that betrayed her in a way that's not true. When I was a child, I realized that she went through her worst times, but I didn't know exactly what happened to her. There was information that was not true. You never know what to believe because there's information that does not make any sense. I'm confident enough to believe that Britney Spears is a victim. There's no doubt that she is a victim. When she was a child, she was the primary provider to her family. She helped her siblings while she was famous as a child. I think that she knows how to use a mobile phone. Maybe she is not up to date on how to use the internet. Well, one of her best songs were Baby One More Time. She was 16 years old when Baby One More Time came out. Correct me if I'm wrong. The song Toxic was also in the top charts. She had to be 18 years old at that time. Toxic was one of my favorite Britney Spears songs. I also like the song Prerogative. I listened to it when I was at home. I would replay the song on the radio several times. Britney Spears has been in lots of commercials. She was also in lots of Pepsi commercials. Britney Spears appeared in a 1999 candy commercial for UHA Mikakudo gummy candy. I remember that she was in a commercial for McDonald's. She was in lots of commercials for Mickey Mouse, Teen People magazine, Jive Records, Polaroid, iZone, Apple Music, and other commercials from other companies. She accomplished a lot. Britney Spears won 232 music awards. She won music awards for her songs such as Toxic, Every Time, Oops, I Did It Again, Gimme More, Womanizer, Circus, If You Seek My Amy, Baby One More Time, Blackout, I'm a Slave for You, Till the World Ends, and her other music tracks. I wish that Prerogative was up for music awards. That was one of my favorite songs. She had a total of 490 music nominations. That is a huge accomplishment. I want to talk about the generalization of what Britney Spears has been going through. Britney Spears made it clear that she did not want her father to take control of her finances. Jamie Spears is her father. Her father had a judge who declared that she is not allowed to take control of her own finances because she's not mentally stable to do that. That was the time when the conservatorship started. It was in 2008. The bad part is that her father put her through hell. It's very clear that Britney Spears has been disrespected throughout the years, and that is why Brit- the Britney Spears fans are mad. They are forming the crew members like Sonic Hedgehogs. I can't get mad at them at all because they know that this is messed up for Britney Spears. This is messed up on so many levels. However, the problem that I have with this conservatorship is that her rights were being taken away. She's not allowed to drive by herself. She can't buy a car on her own. No one is allowed to buy a car for her. She needs someone that can drive her. She needs permission to have a car ride. I hope that she has her own state ID. I'm not sure if she has a passport to travel. I doubt that she has a driver's license due to being part of a conservatorship. She can't pay things for her own. It seems that she can't pay her bills in her own home. The ironic part is that she cannot pay her own lawyers. No one can get over the fact that she is very talented. The father was not involved in her life before the conservatorship. Her mother has been there for her. Someone has to keep an eye on her. Jamie Spears has control of her estate. I feel that this is a dictatorship all over again. No one should go through that. Her father is treating her like a prisoner. Britney Spears is not an old lady. Conservatorship is not for young people. I find that very rare, very rare. Britney wanted it. Britney wanted a professional attorney that has her best interests at heart, not someone that is bad. She did not have good lawyers over the past years. The judge said that she's not allowed to have her own attorney because of her mental illness. She was appointed with an attorney, the attorney that she never chose. I can guarantee that it's not good. All the hard work she does, it goes through her father. Everything in her life has to be approved. The New York Times wanted to interview her, and it was 4 times that they asked her. They never heard anything back from Britney Spears. I don't doubt that this is the father's true character because all he wants is money. Britney Spears is not in prison. She's not supposed to be in a dictatorship. I remember seeing Britney Spears' Instagram post, and people were very concerned about her. This is very serious. This is very upsetting. This paparazzi situation is also upsetting because it's known to disrespect Britney Spears. It's upsetting that her voice does not matter at all. I wish that I heard her speak out once. There is a podcast dedicated to Britney. They are speaking for her. I want to go over it later in this episode of the podcast. Well, actually, I'm not going to go over it. I would not want to I would not want anyone to take control of someone's finances. I don't want anyone to take control of my own finances. It looks very controlling and shady to do that. It's very sketchy to me. There was a documentary on Hulu. It was released. It's a Hulu documentary. It is called Framing Britney Spears. It portrays her as a subject where she was in a secretive conservatorship that started in 2008. She had public mental breakdowns. Last year, her lawyer, Samuel D. Ingham, I don't know which one it is, stated in a filing that she strongly opposed her father as a conservator and that she refused to perform if he were in charge of her career. In the Hulu documentary, there are interviews with Free Britney activists. It revisits the way the media, comedians, and the music industry portraying Britney Spears a certain way when she rose to the top during her fame and her divorce with her former husband Kevin Federline. It also counts to their battles over the custody of their 2 children. That's between Britney and the husband, Kevin Federline. At the end of the day, she does not need to be controlled. During the years when Britney was in a conservatorship, her fans used the hashtag Free Britney to support her to be terminated from her conservatorships so she can be free and she can be independent. Her finances, her estate, her privilege, her social life, her life decisions, and her personal life is should not be controlled. Britney's lawyers mentioned that she'll no longer perform because her father is still in charge. It makes sense to hear that because maybe it sounds suspicious. It has something to do with her father coming for her because she has money. There are famous people who spoke out to support Britney Spears when Britney Spears fans were fighting to make her free from the conservatorship. That includes how badly she was treated by the media, her family, and her past romantic partners. That in that includes the legal system. Casey Musgraves spoke out on Twitter in support of Britney Spears. Casey mentioned that it is frustrating that no one is checking up on her to see if she's okay. Musgraves hopes that she will speak for herself and that she is freed from that conservatorship. Actress Amber Tamblyn tweeted about the documentary and said that it was painful to watch. She hoped that she would be freed from the conservatorship. She condemned the judges that continued the conservatorship to be active. By the way, the judge part is the most important part that negatively impacted Britney's life. Journalist Tamron Hall spoke on Twitter. She said that the documentary was heartbreaking. She must have watched it, so she's not painting a pretty picture at all. Valerie Bertinelli, am I saying it right, wrote on Twitter and reacted to the documentary. She kept it real and did not paint a pretty picture at all, and there were many more. So Justin Timberlake is the one I have to blame for the Britney Spears situation, the one that disrespected her throughout the years. I feel that Justin Timberlake was one of the main reasons why Britney Spears had a serious breakdown after their breakup. Justin Timberlake lied on Britney Spears after they split. He spoke ill of her. I always felt that it's insulting because her family is saying that she's sick. At this point, I see through the BS with the people in her life because I expected these people to protect her and respect her, not turn against her, not place her in a position to be harmed. She has not had she didn't have a normal life while being disrespected. Britney Spears has been through a lot when she was a child. It's very clear that Britney Spears' childhood was taken away from her. She didn't have a normal childhood, the type of childhood where you get to hang out with your friends, play with your toys, hang out with your friends after school, and play at the playground. She didn't have that when she was first famous. I think what she knew about is working and what she has gone through in the entertainment industry. I did not like that she was being judged because of the image everyone has seen from her. I feel that she was taken advantage of as a child. Basically, I just want to know who is there to protect Britney Spears. Someone should have been on her side. Someone should have defended her. Someone should have protected her because no one would do anything to exploit her and put her in a dangerous situation. It's very clear that the documentary came out. I'm glad that the documentary came out just to teach people that there's such thing as bad money. It's about defending Britney Spears. I need to watch the documentary about the Free Britney situation. In the documentary, I expect that it chronicles about her life, all her life. I hope that it chronicles how she first became famous because that has been a major thing in her life. I haven't watched the documentary yet. I don't want to sound biased. I heard that it came out on Hulu. No, it's not on Netflix. Like, can that be on Netflix? Not everyone uses Hulu. No disrespect at all. I expect that it chronicles about the people who did Britney Spears wrong. As far as I found out, I learned that people who were or used to be close to her spoke about their experiences with Britney Spears. I hope that it shows that Britney Spears spoke for herself. I also hope that it shows that the people who did Britney Spears wrong get exposed. I hope that exposed the judge, like every judge that was against Britney Spears, when they continue the conservatorship. I don't want to spoil the documentary since I did not watch it. I want to talk about the Diane Sawyer interview. The interview was very abrasive. Overall, I felt that she was forced to talk about her personal life. That's Britney's personal life. In my personal opinion, Diane was very disrespectful towards Britney Spears. Diane was slut shaming her while interviewing her. Diane was in the wrong, and I will say that the interview was not good. I couldn't watch the interview. One of the biggest issues with the interview is that Diane thought that she got away with disrespecting Britney Spears. She was not interviewing Britney Spears, she was calling her out of her name. It was a bunch of name calling. Diane was talking down towards her. She was always getting a lot of attention when Britney Spears was on covers of the magazines, and I could tell that Britney Spears was very nervous. I think that it bothered Diane. If I was her, I would not want to be in the interview at all. Diane was asking inappropriate questions to Britney Spears. It was very uncomfortable. Diane was talking about shopping. She was talking about how Britney dressed up. Why would you ask these types of questions? I would respect it if Diane was not biased. I don't think that Diane was very understanding about the music industry, focusing about how you look. That includes Hollywood. You could be acting in your career and you're expected to look a certain way. I just felt that Diane was very manipulative. Diane always came off as a wicked person. Her new nick her new nickname is Karen Sawyer. That's what everyone calls her. I'm not joking about this. I could tell that Britney was very uncomfortable. I was able to tell that Britney was going to cry in the interview. I mean, bawl her eyes out. I can tell that Britney Spears has been through a lot sitting in the interview. I will give Britney Spears credit when credit is due. I saw clips of it. not the full interview. It was very cringeworthy. It was very cringeworthy to see her body language. I would be uncomfortable if I was Britney. That is why I am against doing interviews, because you never know what you will get yourself into. You never know how much information you are forced to share. I believe that she was anxious to talk about her personal life. I just feel that Britney Spears did not get the chance to speak and tell her own story. Britney Spears has the right to tell her own story. If I was Britney Spears, I would leave. I felt that she was forced to finish the interview. She was not allowed to walk off the interview and not finish it. Diane reminded me of this scolding teacher who was very strict. She was forced to talk about her private life. Britney rarely talked about her success and her career. The interview gave me the vibe where she was not giving Britney the benefit of the doubt. Diane was not talking about her career. Britney is not a role model the way, what's it called? Diane claimed. Diane took it way too far. Diane was questioning her and Justin Timberlake. You can tell that Justin was like being defended. Diane Sawyer was defending Justin Timberlake. That part was very reprehensible and irresponsible. She blamed Britney for losing her virginity. First and foremost, that's not your business. It's not your business to know if Britney had sex with someone. She crossed the line with Britney Spears. She was going in depth about talking about her body. She was body shaming her. She also asked Britney, "Why did you kiss Madonna?" She talked about boys. She went in on her about her shopping addiction. Oh, is shopping an addiction? Like, that's disrespectful. I feel that she planned these questions to make her feel bad. I don't think that she didn't think if the questions were good or not. It was very abrasive and destructive for what she asked. It was in 2003 and she was 21 years old. I want to say that it was either on ABC channel or Prime. She's not hurting anyone at all. Britney is not disrespecting anyone. Why is it your business for you to know about Britney's personal life? I can tell that Diana is very bothered by her success and her fame. I feel that she doesn't know anything about Britney Spears' marketing tactics. That's why she was insulting her. She did not understand that adults and teens look up to her. She did not have to tell her audience about her private life because it's not our business to know. I heard that she apologized in public. I would have respected it if she apologized to her face. It should have been soon. That would be a real apology. A real apology would not be a dissertation. It's common to post an apology on social media. I just don't think that an interview needed to happen. Come on, I just felt that the interview was planned and she did not want to do the interview. I can't blame Britney Spears if that's how she felt. That's just how I look at it. I want to go over what is a conservatorship. As a child, I had no idea what a conservatorship was. I don't know if it mattered if I was too young to know about it. The reason why conservatorship exists is that older people need assistance to manage their personal life. It's their finances, their estates. They are likely to be scammed out of their money. It's common when elder people are being targeted by people because they are very vulnerable. I find it very rare for a person who is, let's say, in their 20s or 30s to be part of a conservatorship because their health condition is a major concern. It has been led by Jamie Spears, Britney's father. For the last 12 years, the details of Britney's conservatorship have been private, but the singer recently filed documents via her lawyer requesting parts of her conservatorship be open to the public. Britney Spears has been in the conservatorship since 2008. In a conservatorship, it's reserved for people who have a disability. They are unable to take care of themselves. Their rights are taken away. Britney is considered the conservatee, and her father, Jamie, is the conservator. I will talk about what Britney Spears went through and what she's currently going through. I don't know if she has dementia. I heard that it's a rumor, and I hope that it's not true. As far as I know, I have not seen anyone who is working with Britney Spears. Um, when it comes to a conservatorship, It relates to what she can and cannot do. Um, it comes down to health stuff, education stuff, any decisions, anything Britney makes, she has no control over it. She is always working for it. She has no custody of her kids. I mean, like primary custody. She has no say who she sees and who she's not seeing. It's not her choice at all. She has been working a ton of hours. She's one of the most talented artists. She could do something by working. Britney Spears has been in Mickey Mouse House Club, let's say around 1992. I mean, between 1992 and 1993, she was very young when she was famous. She has been singing for more than 3 decades. I always thought that her voice sounded the same, but I realized that it doesn't sound the same. She had albums come out when she was 15 or 16 years old. I mean, when it started, she had a lot of attention when she was a child and when she was a teenager. She went on tours. She was also a judge on X Factor. I want to talk about the father because he is the main part of the problem when it comes to the Free Britney situation. The part that pisses me off is that Britney's rich. The rich status already came at a disadvantage because I feel that someone in her family, such as Jamie Spears, took her for granted, in my opinion. The father was an abusive alcoholic. Recently, Kevin Federline, the ex husband, got a restraining order against Jamie Spears because Jamie Spears allegedly abused his kids. It's Jamie Spears' grandkids. Those are also Britney's kids. It's clear that her father does not like Britney being rich. I don't think that her father was born rich. I honestly doubt it. Maybe he wanted to be rich so bad. Jamie Spears' judge does not like that at all. I'm talking about every judge that sided with Jamie. That bothers him, and every judge that agrees with the conservatorship. It doesn't make sense that the father would be granted to take control when he was an absent father. That bothers every judge, and the father, because she's so rich, is very inevitable because Britney Spears has wealth. She's still an affluent person. I feel that the reason why this is continuing is because her father and every judge that agreed with the conservatorship wanted more money. Maybe her father is not an affluent person. If someone is your father and his job is to love you and protect you, you should never think about money because your child has more money than you. Get out of here. That's what I'm thinking. You're her father, not her son. You need to be a good father to Britney, not a convenient father. I don't know if Britney Spears is aware of that or not. I hope that I'm not lying about it. I can't respect her father because he put her through so much, and I don't know why he hasn't stopped the conservatorship. Her father is nothing but a dictator. I feel that what the father did was an opportunistic move after the umbrella incident. I feel that he did this at a convenient time. What could the father be doing that is shady behind Britney's back? The doctors that Jamie Spears has access to are not good doctors to Britney Spears. I wonder if they don't treat Britney Spears well in order for her to get better. People clearly believe that she was given medicine she should not be taking. It sounds possible. I don't want to say that this is true. However, her father is not trusted to begin with. I feel that the father is making these things about him. He has a long history of abuse. He should not have been trusted to be in control of someone's personal life, their privilege, and their personal choices when it comes to the conservatorship. Somehow, I always believe that the father is manipulative and very money hungry. I'm very comfortable enough to say that he's greedy when it comes to money. I mean, who would not believe that he's lazy because he wants quick money? I just see it when it comes to the father stripping away Britney Spears' fortune. Why won't you have your own fortune? I looked back on once Britney Spears started to be in a conservatorship, it looks sketchy that the father extended the conservatorship. Of course, the father was not fine with the idea of making sure that she's not part of the conservatorship anymore, so he was mad. He needs to be, and I love it. He could have done something with the paychecks coming in. I mean, Britney Spears' hard-earned money. The fact that the father wanted to take control of Britney's life, he is the wrong messenger because he was an alcoholic. I'm confident enough to say that. I also wonder if there were fraudulent documents for Britney to be in this conservatorship. Conservatorship is only for older people. It's for those who have Alzheimer's or dementia. I don't think that Britney Spears fits in the criteria. By the way, since it affects the kids, Britney's kids, one of her kids named Aiden cussed out Jamie Spears, his grandfather, on Instagram. It was deleted. The son said that he should be dead. He cussed out the grandfather. Part of me believes that he was defending his mother. It's possible that he knows about this conservatorship and how bad this is hurting his mother, Britney Spears. At some point in time, this is no means to force the kids to know what is happening to Britney. When they get older, maybe in their teenage or adult years, they will know about it and the causes that hurt Britney Spears. I will tell you that social media is not the best place when it comes to having problems with people. By the way, a lot of things made me question the doctors. Initially, I was very suspicious of why she did not have good doctors. And now we know. I wonder, was she obligated to pay for someone else's medical expenses? And how much did she pay for people's medical expenses? I'm talking about her mother, her family, and her siblings. Did Britney Spears pay for her health insurance? How much did she pay for it? Health insurance is required by law and it's a state law. In California, I know that's required, and if not, you can be fined for it. I feel that these doctors, the one that was approved by the judges, need to be investigated because I think that they did something fraudulent. I'm thinking that the doctors who did not have Britney's interest did something fraudulent with the prescription and the medicine. Those are my suspicions with the doctors that Britney had. I feel that it's possible that they did something to Britney and they might have overdosed her with the wrong medication. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not saying that it's the truth. I noticed that Britney has been acting very weird on social media. It caused millions of people to worry about her. Again, I'm not a medical professional, so I can't make conclusions like this. She needs doctors that have her best interest at heart, not doctors that come from her father and the judge. That's not the way it should be. That's not fair to Britney because these doctors may not have had her best interest at heart. I believe that something happened to her when it comes to the doctors assigned by every judge continuing the conservatorship. This type of stuff affects her kids. It does not work like that. I hope that the judge that works with the father stops working. They should not be working. I feel that Britney Spears should find a lawyer where that it is not taken lightly and that if it's proven that the father is fraudulently mismanaging her banking accounts, stealing money from her, then he deserves to be locked up. I feel that every judge being on Jamie Spears' side did something and it sounds very suspicious. I believe that the judge, like every judge, needs to be investigated for corruption. I feel that every judge needs to be exposed for what they did to Britney. It stems from the father. I blame the father for being very selfish because I feel that he's doing it for himself. He wants an excessive amount of wealth. He wants a lot of money. It seems that he dreams of his net worth being huge because Brittany is an affluent person. The judge is making sure that Brittany is trapped so her father can get more money from her. Like every judge wanted more money from her. I don't doubt that the current judge, including all the judges that, Britney had in the past, wanted more money from her. It looks very opportunistic and lazy to me. The thing is that Britney Spears cannot do anything about it. This whole conservatorship is making Britney Spears vulnerable because every judge Britney Spears faced is allowing it to happen. Like the recent judge, which is a lady, is allowing it to happen. And I also feel that the new judge of the conservatorship needs to be investigated. Like every judge has allowed people to rip money off of Britney. It's so angrily messed up. I can't stand every judge that allowed this to happen to Britney Spears. The scary part about this is that Britney Spears barely has power. The person in charge of this conservatorship is in charge of her personal life. Like it's happening like right now, and it shouldn't be happening. Every judge she had always had power, especially with the recent case where she wanted her father to stop being a conservator, and the judge denied it. Like every judge did not want her to have a say in anything. Who knows? It's possible that NDAs were involved. That's why I have something against NDAs, because you never know, someone could do something to you. We all know that NDAs go out the window when things become criminal. You never know what could happen to you. You never know what you will get yourself into. One thing that I learned about Britney's marriage with her ex-husband Jason Alexander was that it didn't last long. I'm talking about, you know, how they first met. Jason was Britney's childhood friend. They were married for 55 hours or 55 days. In other words, the divorce was not a choice, and her father did not like the marriage between the two of them. The thing is that she was forced to divorce Jason. Their marriage didn't last that long. Initially, I always thought that it was strange for the ex to defend Britney after the divorce. They came back to be friends. It's very clear that she was left heartbroken. She was emotionally heartbroken. Jason Jason spoke out in support of Britney Spears. It was reported that Jason was outside of the courthouse while the Free Britney protest took place. I was not expecting that. Part of me believes that Jason knows what's going on because he's known her for years. He's known her before the fame. He's known her before they both got married. It's very clear that his family has been friends with her family. I'm not Britney, so I don't know Jason Alexander. I hope that he's still friends with Britney. I hope that he's being very genuine about this. I hope that he's not doing this for attention just because her fame is huge. I want to talk about Kevin Federline, Britney Spears' ex-husband. Kevin Federline was the second guy Britney Spears married. She decided to divorce him. I feel that Kevin Federline does not like Jamie Spears, Britney Spears' father. Maybe they have been going at it for a while. This was very recent. It's very clear that he cheated on Britney Spears. This affects Britney because those are her kids. That's the mother of your kids. Come on. At this point, the relationship is strained. I can't respect him because I feel that he used her. I've seen him speak in interviews and acts like Britney did not exist. He acts like they never had a past. Everyone knows your past marriage, so you can't pretend anything anymore. I see that as very opportunistic. The problem that I have is that he was getting these child support payments um, from Britney Spears because she has money. If you have a job that is paying you so well, why are you relying on child support checks? Taking care of your children and having child support checks are not the same. It doesn't make any sense. If the conservatorship did not happen, I feel that Britney would either have sole custody and see her kids full time, or she would not be in a conservatorship and not have to pay for child support. I find it very clear that Kevin is one of those reasons why Britney has bad luck with men. I'm not saying this in a very disrespectful way. I'm just referring it to how Britney has been treated badly by men, which is very hurtful to her. He still has the reputation of being a freeloader. In my personal opinion, he doesn't have like anything to back up on. Like, he doesn't really need any child support checks. Like, stop using her for money. Like, he's the definition of a male gold digger. Like, I was very bothered by him when he was speaking in the interviews. Every interview I watched with him is very dull. He looks like he did not want to talk. I know that he was a backup dancer. I don't know if he still dances. I also heard that he makes music. He's a rapper. Like no one checks his music. I find it very insincere. I have some type of severe vendetta against people who are gold diggers. He is known for being with Britney and the other baby mothers. Everyone knows it. I don't think people checked on him when he was a backup dancer. That's just how I feel about Kevin. Like he has more than 3 kids. I always thought about how much Kevin looked at Britney as a cash cow. I think that it's the reason why she had to divorce him. I don't think that he sounds sincere when he speaks highly of Britney. That is just my opinion about him. I would not consider him as a hero even if he defends Britney. He just sat there like a grasshopper. It rubbed it rubbed me the wrong way because he spoke and barely had any concerns for Britney. That is what I have to say about Kevin. I know why Kevin does not support the idea of freeing Britney from the conservatorship. I know why Kevin does not want to become involved in the Free Britney movement. I would respect it if he stayed out of this conservatorship since he met her and he was with her for convenience. When he was married to Britney, they did not have a prenup. I always believed that he would be with Britney for money. I always knew that he was an opportunist because he was cheating on Britney with multiple women. I don't believe that he should continue working when he was using Britney. Unfortunately, he did not have the most successful career, no disrespect. I remember when he was disrespecting Britney after Britney filed for divorce, he called her the B word. I don't want to drag Kevin, but I just feel that he showed his true colors. At the same time, we can't ignore the things he has done to Britney and what he's currently doing. And let's not forget that people do do not like Kevin because people believe that he is profiting off of Britney. I believe that too. Part of me believes that he agreed with Britney being forced to go to rehab. I want to talk about the paparazzi. This is the part that threw me off. I'm still shaking behind this. Kevin said that she cannot see her children. This was the time when Brittany was going to see her children. She got a breaking point. She cannot see her kids. She's knocked on the door several times. She went to the salon and got her hair cut out. She was bald. Once she went inside of the salon, she was given a razor, so she shaved her head. Like it's very clear she had a mental breakdown, and I believe that it has something to do with being treated badly. She went to a tattoo salon and got a tattoo. Like the paparazzi was tearing her apart. They were embarrassing her by taking pictures of her. She was mocked by late night shows and people in general. When I watched the video with the umbrella situation and the paparazzi was there in 2008, I saw how real and serious it was. I was familiar with it before middle school. Like, how can you get away with invading someone's privacy and someone's world turns upside down? You did that to Britney. Did you not see what was wrong with it? I don't think that the paparazzi followed Britney with good reason. I can tell that it was done with ill intention. I want to mention that the paparazzi is the one to blame because you can't just stalk someone and you want to know about their personal life. I highly believe that the paparazzi did this with nosy intentions. I blame the paparazzi for following Britney. The paparazzi was the one that was being nosy towards her. Like, why did you need to get involved in her personal life? That's your fault. The paparazzi knew what was happening. The paparazzi was one of these people who portrayed her in a way that's not true. You're a liar. Everyone knows that you're lying. My thing is that you can't be concerned for someone and shove the camera in their face. I call it exploitation. It looks like the paparazzi was publicly embarrassing her. You had no business being in Britney's presence. It was harassment. I would not be surprised if these people did this to other people. Why are you playing the victim? You're wrong for humiliating Britney. She asked them to stop following her and stop recording her. There was no reason to laugh. If they showed up to my property, you're going to jail. I want to see you in handcuffs because you refused to leave my property. No one invited you to my house. You're not allowed to be there. She had the right to be disrespectful because she does not owe anyone anything. She did not allow these people to be on her property. You can't be concerned about somebody and you're following them. They did this for show. They thought that it was entertaining. Nothing was entertaining when they followed Britney in Los Angeles. My takeaway from this is that people forget celebrities are regular people. Britney Spears is an influencer. She's a regular person. They treat her like she's above or below anyone else. No one is below or above anyone. No one should defend this. People should defend Britney. I cannot blame Britney Spears for flipping out the way that she did. Just because she does something that is seen to be erratic, it does not mean that she has a problem. Why are people making it a mental illness thing? I'm not a health professional. You're not a health professional. I'm just saying, we can't talk about someone's life this way. That's not fair to anyone. The paparazzi made this a laughing matter. There's nothing comedic about this. If people think that Britney's reaction for flipping out on the paparazzi was comedic, then they are on the wrong side of what happened to Britney. This is wrong on so many levels. Why is it okay to show up to people's property? What did you expect it to happen? Did you expect that she would do nothing? If someone did that to my neighbor and I saw that, I will call the police. You can either be escorted out with no consequences or you will go to jail. Let's see if you're in handcuffs. The paparazzi should not have worked after the incident. The paparazzi should be unemployed after what he did to Britney. What they did to Britney, I'm sorry. I'm sure that there were more people there. The media was portraying Britney in a negative light, and none of the stuff they said was true. All Britney wanted was to see her children. That's it. What did the paparazzi expected to happen? Wanted to get back with their ex-husband? I don't think so. She didn't do anything wrong to disrespect anybody. My thing is that if you're defending the paparazzi, then you must be mad because you know that you're wrong. I don't know what else to tell you because everyone else is standing by Britney. I am. I was really upset that she had to shave her head. Stop saying that she has a mental illness because you saw how she reacted. I would respect it if the paparazzi left Britney alone because none of this stuff would exasperate. Let me make that clear. I feel that it was impossible for her to be like nice to people. Justin Timberlake is another man that did Britney Spears wrong. Justin Timberlake essentially threw Spears under the bus shortly after the couple's relationship ended in 2002. Timberlake released the Crimea River video, which featured a Spears lookalike and played into unconfirmed rumors that she cheated on him. I doubt that Britney Spears spoke publicly about it. The Crimea River film also featured a clip from a radio interview in which Timberlake revealed that he and Britney Spears had slept together. Let me get this straight. Justin had no problem disrespecting Britney Spears, black women, and Janet Jackson. I feel that there are real reasons why he disrespected these women. It could have been a spiteful reason, it could have been a desperate reason. I do not take it well to throw false allegations. He did that to Britney. In general, it's going to be a problem if you threw me under the bus. I will never take it lightly. Once you throw me under the bus, then everything will escalate. It turned into a laughing stock. I can't respect what he did, and he did not take personal responsibility with what he did. Spears and Timberlake famously dated for several years. Um, I'm very sure that the fans are still mad about it. About the apology dissertation, I can't accept it. I'm sorry because most people don't realize it. I prefer an apology where people apologize in front of the camera. You would have to be on video. I can't take Justin Timberlake seriously despite his success. Despite his success, I feel that he should not have been invited to the Grammys. I would not trust Justin Timberlake if I was Britney. I would make sure that Justin gets sued for defamation. My thing is that Britney did not have permission to do so. While she could not file lawsuits on her own, maybe she didn't have permission to do that. It would have been nice if she did that when Britney is not in a conservatorship. I feel that it was one of the reasons why Britney Spears distanced herself from Justin. Even if Justin apologized to both Britney and Janet Jackson, I could care less about his apology. He is known to tear down other women. He's known to tear down people's careers, especially women's careers. He's known to disrespect women. That includes Britney and Janet Jackson. It seems that it's part of his true character for him to tear down people's career. I don't like people like that. I don't look up to people like that. I don't respect that. I don't support people who do that. We might as well tell him to cry river because he got dragged for the way he disrespected women, including Britney Spears and Janet Jackson. At the end of the day, he made Britney look bad. He made other women look bad. He made Janet Jackson look bad. He's a hypocrite for acting like he's above everyone else because there are allegations that he's cheating on his wife. He's no prize to any women. Don't act like you are perfect because you're not the perfect husband. Nobody considers you the brightest when it comes to women and how you treated them throughout the years. He's not the brightest person in my opinion. One thing that I noticed is that he used what he did to these women, including Britney Spears, to get far in life. I guess that he was focused on living his best life. I'm not down with talking about my personal business. Whatever stays between us stays between us. If it's private, then it doesn't need to be shared. He profited off of the things he did to hurt Britney and other women. Other women, I feel that this is very traumatic to her. This may bring back dark memories to Britney. It would be nice if he was sued for defamation because he lied and slandered Britney's name. He actually ruined that person. I would respect it if he focused on moving forward in life instead of slut shaming someone. If I was her, I would never consider Justin as a friend. This is not an apology because friends don't dog people out behind their backs. You don't air out your own dirty laundry. That is Justin Timberlake. I feel that he should retire because he thought that he got away with this. He thought that people would not hold him accountable. I always believed that he wrote the apology and had the PR to write it down for him. Who could have wrote the apology for him? It could be his friends. He made several women as villains and profited off of it. That's not good money. He's the perfect example of all money not being good because whatever you're paid to do, it will come back and bite you. In my opinion, Justin Timberlake is basic. I don't feel the vibe with his music when I first got to know who he was as an artist. It's not the same for me anymore. I always consider him basic. He never apologized to Britney after he dissed her. He was constantly bullying her on the internet. He probably did this off camera. He dissed Britney outside of his career. He's known as an industry rat. He's known to be a snake in the entertainment industry. I don't feel bad for this man because everyone is dragging him. I thought that I liked him because maybe his music is good. I always think that his music is still mediocre. His music tracks are not going to be on my Spotify account. I'm not for canceling, but I'm speaking with my wallet, and it's not hard to do that. If you're going to stop supporting Justin Timberlake, then speak with your wallet. I stopped listening to him years ago. I was hearing about his music on and off. I was never a fan. I'm not going to be invested in his music. I wouldn't take him seriously as a regular person because he doesn't treat anyone with respect. This is very controlling and conniving. Why didn't he apologize to Britney Spears if they had so much history together? Why did you have to put her on blast? Once I realized what he did, I came to see who he is as a person. The problem with Justin is that he did not take accountability for the stuff that he said that came out of his mouth. Britney Spears is not the only person Justin disrespected. Justin Timberlake got Janet Jackson blacklisted and banned from award shows. It's very clear that Justin ruined her career. I doubt that the apology to Janet Jackson was real. It just looked very insincere to me. I have to say that the apology was not good, straight up. I did not like the way that he apologized to Janet Jackson and Britney Spears. I always felt that Justin Timberlake was a reflection on the music industry, how misogynistic the industry was, and how his actions affected her through the conservatorship. His apology to Britney was not real. Everyone knows that he's lying. I would not blame Britney not accepting the apology. I feel that he apologized because the documentary came out and people were roasting him on the internet. He was grilled on social media. Fans were calling him out for slut shaming Britney Spears. My thing is that if he was sorry, then he would have apologized before the documentary came out. If he actually cared about his friendship, maybe he could have spoke out and support Britney to be free from the conservatorship. Britney Spears' boyfriend had something to say against the father. I will go over the most important people who was siding with the father and other people who was supposed to go against the father, Jamie Spears. There are people who used to be important to Britney Spears, but they are not because they are the ones that were supposed to protect Britney, but they did not do that. Britney's boyfriend is Sam Asghari. She has been with him for 5 years. He's an actor and a physical trainer. When I first heard about him, my thoughts were he looks good, he has a good body. Good looks don't fix people's character. I don't think that he's an actual actor or a chef. I find that very strange. It should say it all because I feel that he's with Britney to be paid for being Britney's boyfriend and her chef. I feel the age gap between the two is so big, it's very weird. I think that Sam is following the rules with the conservatorship. He gives me more mature vibes. I rarely saw photos of Sam and Britney. Part of me believes that the relationship is forced where you can't find Britney and Sam's photos on Instagram. You can't find it on any social media platforms. I feel that he really likes Britney Spears. I feel that he's controlling her. I always see him thirsting for fame. The fame is obviously coming from Britney Spears. I have to keep that in mind. He shared his thoughts about the family on Instagram. This was back this year. This was a week or two. Sam said that he does not have any respect for Jamie Spears because he's controlling and that he throws obstacles in people's lives. He called her father the D word. I'm not saying the word. Sam said that he is for expressing his opinion and having freedom. In my opinion, he was right to speak out and defend Britney Spears. At the same time, the time was not right. Did the people close to her have bad experiences with the father? Her friends spoke out about the conservatorship. The thing that is so real is Sam was cool with Britney's dad. I feel that he was going in on her father for convenience. I'm still skeptical about him being in Britney's life. At the same time, I hope that he's still being genuine. My biggest issue with Sam is that he did not speak up to defend Britney earlier. My thing is, you are for freedom. Why didn't you speak out earlier in Britney's defense? If you cared and consistently loved Britney for 5 years, then you have their back. Britney needs that where she lost different people who were the most important to her. This was a convenient time for Sam to speak out because there is a documentary that came out. The documentaries already became public. Public opinion is on Britney's side. Sam was very silent and did not speak out when he first spoke out against the conservatorship. That's just how I feel about Sam. I have a bad feeling about him. I don't know if Britney is with him because she's afraid to be alone. I feel that she does not need Sam because it looks like he's an opportunist. That's what I believe. I feel that he's with Britney Spears because she has money. Maybe her fortune is bigger than his fortune. Part of me believes that he's involved in her life so he can take control of Britney's personal life. I also think that he would be married to Britney so he can take control of her money. It sounds very manipulative and convenient to me. I don't know if she's forced to be happy with him. It's hard because she had lots of bad luck with men when it comes to her past relationships. Sam chose to speak out because it's affecting him. If he had Britney's interest at heart, then he would have spoken out earlier. I am suspecting that he is with her because he wants to be a part of her father's plan without Britney knowing it. That is very creepy and dark. I'm not saying that this is true when it comes to Sam. I will keep my eye on it. I have seen his external side, not his internal side. If he was about that life, then be about it. Don't say that you support Britney when you speak out at a convenient time. He must have known about this before he got with her. He should have known about this. I want to talk about the cousin. Britney Spears' cousin Ali Sims spoke out following the release of the Framing Britney Spears documentary. It detailed her alleged experience with the father, Jamie Spears. She was the one who assisted Britney in 2007. She alleged that her father was separating her from her loved ones. This has been 10 years when she was very silent. She was there for the umbrella situation and Britney's dark times. She was speaking out. In 2008, she got a call from the father warning something would happen if she did not stop talking to Britney. The father was very controlling because he did not want her living in Britney's home. She lived with Britney for several years. She got out of Britney's life. She did not answer the phone from Jamie when he, when she received those threats. I doubt that she never agreed with the conservatorship. She knows Britney very well. Everyone is watching the documentary, that is why she's speaking out. I'm not surprised with the father and he disrespected his own family. 13 years ago, she was going through it. The paparazzi took advantage of Britney. It took a long time for Ali to speak out. She was worried about how the information would be interpreted. It seems that she was also affected by the paparazzi. She was associated with Britney. She never wanted the attention. She never wanted to be famous. She just wanted to be close to Britney. Ali was minding her business and focusing on her life. Britney and Ali were in the car and the paparazzi was stalking them. They were put in a dangerous situation. They could have been in a dangerous situation. Ali went to Louisiana, got married, and had kids after leaving Britney. After leaving Britney, Ali's life was fine and had no drama. Ali disconnected her from the situation without Britney's knowledge. She was protecting Britney in her hard times. Ali was fearing for her life after Britney's father made threats against her. You never know what Jamie could have done to threaten somebody. Jamie could have murdered someone. He could have hired someone to murder her. That is very dangerous. That also affects Britney because Ali was living with her and she was so close to her until she left due to Jamie Spears' threats. She was doing her best to protect Britney Spears. She was very helpless while she was with her cousin. She was fearing from the press, she was scared of the paparazzi. Britney was calling Ali and she did not respond to these calls. That was after when she left Britney because her father threatened her. Again, Ali was scared. She was fearing for her life. She went in depth about what he did to Britney. I feel bad for Britney in general. I guess that Britney was feeling bad because Ali did not respond to her calls. At the end of the day, she needs to tell her story because the people around Britney are exploiting her. She has been exploited by people who do not look out for her, who do not have her best interest at heart, and who do not protect her. It is angrily ironic that Ali has the ability to speak about it a lot, but not Britney. I don't know how concerned she was with Britney after she left due to threats. I think that this happened because her father had some type of hatred towards Ali. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know what she did that was bad. My thing is, I don't think Ali means harm to anyone. I doubt it. I wish that Ali could have called legal authority because I do not play around like that. I just don't condone that. I wish that she would have done something sooner. This is no means to be angry with her because she was so close to Britney. She was Britney's best friend. I wish that she should have reached out to Britney soon because she would not feel betrayed. The people that looked out for her abandoned her. If she were to get legal authority involved, then she would probably be involved in Britney's life. None of this stuff would have happened. Every time I watch the paparazzi harassing Britney, it's not okay. I would cringe. It's very painful to see what they did to her. This should have been illegal. There is no way that it's not illegal. I felt that her cousin failed her because she should have had legal authorities to get the father punished. I saw opinions that I never expected. It was that people thought her cousin was an opportunist or she was using Britney. I haven't seen anything that proves she is an opportunist. By the way, her cousin should have reached out to her about why she left and where she was. I'm sure that Britney was emotionally broken by her cousin's abandonment. I'm sure that it's real for Britney to feel that way. Britney has the right to feel some type of way. I just hope that Sam is on her side and he's sticking by her. I want to talk about Jamie Lynn Spears. I have not seen Jamie Lynn support Britney, let alone advocate for her to be free. Before I talk about her, I noticed something. Her first name Jamie is also her father's name Jamie. Her middle name Lynn is also her mother's name. It says a lot about her because she was not able to be her own person. Why would the parents name her something else? She was in the shadows for many years. She needs to support Britney Spears instead of turning against her sister. She has not spoken out about freeing Britney Spears. I know that Britney made it clear she did not want her life to be controlled. Britney needs us to bring awareness to this. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to disrespect someone's sister, but this is serious. I always believed that Jamie is close to her father. I feel that Jamie Lynn has a career because her sister became famous. If it was not for Britney Spears, then she would not have a career. I also felt that Jamie was in the shadows for many years. I also noticed that Jamie was always jealous of Britney. I realized when I was young she was not in the spotlight. I also find it weird that she addresses Britney as the sister, not by her name. I'm sorry, Jamie saying she never treated her sister right. Jamie is taking her sister for granted. Brittany did nothing to her. I noticed the irony where Jamie is doing well, but Brittany is not having the rights that she needed. It's very infuriating because it's clear Jamie Lynn did not do anything to stop the conservatorship. It feels that she let it happen. I'm comfortable enough to blame her for it. It also puts me in a bad mood because she continues to post on Instagram like nothing's happening. Your sister is suffering. Instead of posting on Instagram, you should help Britney get out of this. Do this behind closed doors. Stop posting on social media. Nothing is wrong. Like, you think that nothing is wrong? It makes sense to know why the relationship between the two is estranged. Because she does not like Britney. She always said that she wants to be better than Britney. All she cares about is her career. Your sister is your main concern. You should be worried about her. I feel this vibe that Jamie expected her to cuddle her and help her with her career. It's very clear that Jamie Lynn wanted to compete with her so she can advance her career. I mean, everyone knows that she played Zoe on Zoe 101. I also want to talk about her character when she was on Zoe 101. At first, I heard the stuff people said about her when I was young, and she was being hated while being casted as Zoe on Zoe 101. I heard rumors that she treated Alexa badly. Alexa was the one that played the character Nicole. There was accusations that what was it? Jamie got Alexa terminated or Alexa was forced to quit the series of Zoe 101. I continue to hear people talk bad about Jamie. They called her out by her name about her character. At first, I was not okay with it because the public eye was against her. She was just so young. Now that we find out that she agrees with the conservatorship, now we know why people dislike her. She claims that she did the work for herself when it comes to her own career. I doubt that it's true. I wouldn't doubt that she would act distant towards her sister if she was in her presence. That's very creepy. She seems very bothered by Britney's success. I did not care if you did not understand what a conservatorship is. A child is too young to consent to it or agree with their parents to take control. She was just young. She continued to stick by it now since she's a grown woman. I can't take Jamie Lynn's side because you're not defending Britney. Britney Spears is actually troubled. People are criticizing you for being on your father's side. I feel that she's taking her father's side because she wants to please him. That's some BS. Sorry, but that's not how you should be loved by your parents. I don't know why she's impressing her father. She's threatened by her father, I believe. I never heard about her and Britney being close together. I feel that Zoe 101 is her brand. That is what everyone knows of Jamie Lynn. I never seen Jamie Lynn Spears advance her music career because she did not have the right people to guide her. I do believe that maybe she did not have any financial means to advance her career. At the end of the day, no one is checking on her music like that. People are checking on you because Britney Spears is being the main topic. People are talking about her. People are talking about the Free Britney movement. People take her situations seriously when she is fighting to be free from the conservatorship. I want to talk about the brother in a moment because, in my opinion, he's another toxic family member. It is Brian Spears. It's very clear that he's still standing by the father on taking control of Britney's life. I just can't respect him. Every time he speaks out, he always lie on Britney. You don't care about Britney, you just want her money. I don't know what his occupation is. My thing is that you should get your own life because you're living off of her independence. Everyone sees it. You don't talk to her, you're not close to her. You don't support what the fans are advocating for. It's for her to be free from the conservatorship. This is a messed up situation where he could have stood up for her. He does not deserve a platform to be respected. He always comes off as shady. My thing is that he's proud of the shine that he has. I don't know if he agreed for Britney to sign an NDA so she would not say anything. Who knows? I believe that Britney has been paying for his home expenses. Britney has been paying for his apartment. The problem is that he's fine with Britney being a cash cow. It looks very bad on her part. She is being used as a cash register. She's being used as an ATM. That's just how I look at it. I believe that I would respect it if he had his own job. If he was famous for being in a particular career and he was not using Britney, everyone would respect him. It's despicable that Brian thinks Britney is not allowed to have her own money. He knows why Britney is famous. You already know that, Brian. I don't think that he understands how hard it is to make money and create your own fortune without using somebody's fame. You should not be going after Britney's fortune. I don't doubt that he was doing some financial shady stuff behind her back. I believe that he's nothing but a disappointment. I can't respect him because it seems that he's wasting his life away. Do you have kids? If so, how much financial support do you want from Britney? She has her own kids to take care of. Leave her be. I know that they were not close before. I don't believe that they're still close. If Brian cared, then why won't he join the fans that want Britney to be free from the conservatorship? Where were you when she was continuing to fight to get out of this conservatorship? When I saw that interview with Brian, he just looked very nonchalant. He sounded like he did not care at all. If the brother cared, then you would not be too calm about the situation. My thoughts with the mother is that Brittany always needed her. She always showed that she loves her mother. She always needed her to stand by her. I just feel that I can't trust the mother for some reason. This is my opinion on the mother. I feel that she could be doing something behind the scenes, not saying that it's true. There were reports that she wanted to make change to the conservatorship for some reason. Part of me believes that she wants the bag, she wants to secure the bag. I expected that her mother would stand by Britney. She did not do that. That's obvious. She can't continue to control Britney's life. She just needs to help her. I believe that she needs to drop the conservatorship. Like, has the mother focused on how bad Britney has been treated in the entertainment industry, the media, and the men in her life? That includes the family. Just because someone needs help, it does not mean that they need to be in a conservatorship. She needs to be worried about fighting for her life. I find it very frustrating because she has been crying for real attention. She needs real attention. If she's actually concerned about Britney, why won't you stand with the Free Britney movement? That would make a lot of sense. I'm not saying that it'll fix the relationship. It would show that you are advocating for Britney's freedom. That's just me on the mother. I feel that Britney Spears was misunderstood by her family. They should have stuck by her. There was a lot of jealousy. I feel that things went left because she was getting lots and lots of attention. I don't doubt that they did something to humiliate her the way the media has been treating her. I mean, it's possible that they took the media side to slander her, insult her, and make her look bad. That is very disrespectful. That is the type of people you don't want to be around. What could they do that is not bad, and not saying that this is true? I feel that they are benefiting themselves from her because she is in a conservatorship. They want the bag. They think, let's not work. She'll support us. She'll take care of us because she has money. At the end of the day, as much as she needed help, conservatorship was not the answer at all. It should not have happened in the first place. She never once spent recklessly with her money. There's no way that she could have done that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't figure out what can happen if Britney Spears is not in a conservatorship. I'm very confident enough to say her family is nothing but a freeloader. They have not owed Britney anything. Britney does not owe the family anything. The only people she owes are her kids. That's not a doubt. This is all I have for this episode. I wish that I could go wrong about Britney Spears. This is the time I have. I hope that you like this episode of the podcast. If you are a new listener, please follow this podcast. If you like this podcast, it is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. It is available on other podcasting platforms. I will be speaking in the next episode.